Welcome back to Black Skies Reviews. In this video, we're going to do something special. We have reached a milestone for G.I.JOE classified action figure collecting. We have technically have all the original OG Python Patrol members. So in this video, I'm going to do a comparison. We're going to take a look at them as a whole, individually, just to see how they work as an entire unit. Yes, there's other figures out there to do Python Bat and the Python Viper, which, you know, for me is just a separate kind of figure. I want my G.I.JOE Python Patrol Strike Team, and I now have all 6 of them. In this video, we are going to take a look at them. So let's get started. So here we go. We have Copperhead. It looks amazing. There's a back of him, all geared up. He can hold all of his weapons. Looks great. Here we have Copperhead with Python Patrol Tele Viper. You can see how the colors flow. I think the yellows are different from the helmet of Copperhead to the helmet of the Tele Viper and his shirt. So there's 2 different shades there. So it's not consistent throughout. As Hasbro said they would use the same color. They're making unison. They are not. But the grays, there's no gray on Copperhead. The line work is there. Yes, it's different color, but we have the overall line work is steady for the Python Patrol. Now here's the Python Patrol with the Python Patrol officer. We can see that the yellow does match in the line work. The green matches on the harness and on Copperhead. Obviously the black, we'll call it tank top, is more glossier than the black of the Cobra Officer outfit. There's no gray to match up on Copperhead, so far they look pretty good. The reds, I want to say the Python Patrol Officer's red is darker than the red is on Copperhead. Here we have the Tele Viper and the Officer. The grays match up pretty good. So, and the yellow obviously is not the same. So, and the reds are definitely not the same. So they don't match up either. Alright, here we have the Python Patrol Crimson Guard and Tele Viper, and the yellows, if they're going to be close, they are definitely the 2 that's closest for the yellows. The reds are definitely not the same. This is more maroon than red. Obviously the visors are not the same. This is more paint like that versus that bright red on the Tele Viper's lenses. So comparing the 3 with the most yellow, you can see here that the figures don't line up on the yellows. Like the closest you're going to get is a Tele Viper and the Crimson Guard, and Copperhead's way out there. Here's our Python Officer with our Crimson Guard. The reds are closer on these guys, as you can see, than they are with the Tele Viper. You can see that kind of that plastic, that's not paint, and that red is definitely more his mass shade. There's no yellow on that character except for his line work, so the reds are pretty close with these 2. Alright, so here's probably 2 that we want to check out together. Is the 2 officers. Don't know why we don't have a trooper, but okay. You see the difference in them. The greens are not the same. The line work on the trooper with the green shirt is darker. It's more green and is more lined than it is yellow. So yeah, it's pretty much is what it is. They're totally different shades. The blacks are the same. The molds are the same. You can see that they just highlighted that armor. It's there. So it's pretty much the same mold. And here's with the Crimson Guard. There's really nothing to match there besides the similarity. It's black, a little bit of red, kind of matches with that shade of red with the Crimson Guard around his collar. So with the Tele Viper, the grays are just totally off. There's nothing on the Tele Viper that matches the grays on that officer. The yellows don't line up, and the red is definitely off. He looks the best here with Copperhead for some reason. He just pops with him. Yeah, the greens are pretty close, but not the same. The Copperhead is darker than the Officer. So here is the Viper with Copperhead. Now these colors do pop very well. They look good together, even though that the yellows are different from Copperhead's helmet. Now that the yellows will pop better with, I think, the Telev Viper. So there's no greens on our Viper. So let's take a look at the Telev Viper. There we go. It definitely works out here. The yellows match up quite well. It's more glossy. The grays match up very nicely. Looks good. Even the red. Nah, the reds are more for the Crimson Guard color versus the Telev Viper has its own style, like a brighter red. And here he is with the other officer. The blacks match up. There's no grays, only no gray. The grays, yeah, the vest on the here, the darker gray matches that, so I can see where that gray came from. But this, the line work gray, light gray, and the gray shirt is lighter than obviously than the dark there. Now this really pops here. The Crimson Guard works very nice with the Viper because of the yellows are kind of brighter on these two, along with the Telev Viper. The reds match a little better here, especially on the guns and his visor. Looks good. The light grays look like they match from his pants and that little bit right there. And yeah, the darker gray here is the gray that's on his main shirt without the stripes. And here we go with the last one. The grays kind of pop with his boots, gloves, and helmet, and that piece. Looks good. Obviously, his black's black, no greens, so, you know, pretty decent. Alright, so here they are all together. What do you guys think? You guys think they look fantastic? I think they look great. I really wish the colors were more consistent throughout what Hasbro said they were going to be. I guess all they really cared about was the Crimson Guards kind of matching, which I need to take a look at and see if that's actually true or not. But they look pretty good. I mean, they're not perfect, but for the first attempt for a 6-inch classified Python Patrol OG set, I'll take it. And I'll just throw in the only vehicle we have for the Python Patrol, which is a repaint of the Treble Bubble. You see how that looks with them. Well, the question is, what kind of vehicles are we going to get for this team? Obviously, we need a stun in Python Patrol, but for 6-inch, I don't know if that'll ever be something that'll come to pass or not. Obviously, a Conquest, which, you know, now we're getting into a massive scale, probably a HasLab. We'd probably get the original Conquest before we got a repainted Python Patrol Conquest. But who knows what's in the works. If we get anything, it's probably going to be vehicles that's already been established. Maybe a repaint of the Vamp sometime in the future. Or what they call maybe a Python Patrol Stinger, which or maybe something like that probably. Could see that happening. But as of right now, if you want to have a rod for all your Python Patrol, you're going to have to build your Treble Bubbles. And I'll give you a bunch of Telev Vipers. So you have more Telev Vipers than you will other troops, unless you have a lot of them already. Well, I hope you guys like the look at the Python Patrol. For me, I'm quite satisfied with my team. It's nice to put this team to bed, move on to other fantastic sub-teams or even army building. So this is my team. I know, like I said, the bad in the Python Vipers out there. If you guys want to add them to your team, you'd have more there. But for me, this is what I like. This is what I want. Hope you guys like this review. Hype this look and this comparison. If you do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next review.